Hello, my name is Solow, and I am currently a graduate student at Liberty University. I'm taking interpersonal communication at in this class HSCO 508. So, in this project that I'm doing in this presentation is to demonstrate the importance of interpersonal communications within our life. The way you deliver a message and use healthy, effective communication skills. Improving your relationships with your family, friends, and work. So that brings me to this. It leads me to this. My overarching goal is to improve my communication skills with others and being able to have a better relationship with my family and friends and learning how to be more humble. And my goal is also to learn how to be more Christ-like when interacting with other people. So that brings us to, there's two levels of communication. The first level is connecting. It is when you give and receive information. The next one would be level 2, which is disconnecting. It is when we develop a trust and intimacy. So these are communication skills that I need to help have a better relationship with my family and friends. They have to be able to trust me, and they also have to be able to speak to me. I should be able to speak to me, and I should be able to listen. So that's not the only communication skills that you need. Just like I said before, I need to be able to listen. So we have empathetic listening. You're asking yourself, what exactly is empathetic listening? Well, it's patience, non-possessive attitudes, attentive listening, and sensitive towards someone else's feelings. And listening helps develop your personal character. You see, I mentioned earlier that I wanted my personal character to be more like, interacting with other people in a Christ way. So, this skill is very important because this skill is based on my personal character. And I want my personal character to be more Christ-like. So this leads us to enlarging the conversation. So now that we done learned about the communication, 2 levels of communications, and we learned about a skill of listening, that all is for enlarging a conversation. So let's speak a little bit about enlarging a conversation. Hoping to expand the conversation. Communication about events is having a conversation and having the center to translate their ideas into words and messages. So this is enlarging a conversation. Alright, so we had a assessment we had to take within class, and this was the behavior blend. It told us what our personalities were. I'm going to tell you about the 4 personalities that were in the assessment. D, it was for active, task-oriented, and I, it was for active and people-oriented, and C was for passive and task-oriented. And S was for passive and people oriented. Okay? So let's see if we can keep that in mind. So my personality pattern is S. It's an S pattern and a D pattern. So let me tell you a little bit about an S pattern. It allows people to work at their own pace, establish work pattern, and stability. Change provides opportunity. I find this is true because if you change is when you can improve yourself and learn new things. So I do agree with that, along with the others. So let's talk about D. My D pattern. Authority, making a decision, direct answer, and relaxation is not a crime. This relates more to me too because I am a supervisor at a nonprofit organization, and it's very important for me to have authority and to make decisions. So let's talk a little bit about my background and my behavioral plan. So you heard a little bit about my pattern, which was S&D. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about my background on how I got that pattern S&D. Alright, I am a 41-year-old female. I'm an African American. I grew up on a farm. I'm a Christian. I'm married. And I have children. 2 actually. So, during this class, I learned that my culture has a lot to do with my interpersonal communication skills. This can be a communication barrier for me. And the reason is I say that is that I'm an African American female, so when I communicate with others, my communication barrier is having a wall built, thinking that they're prejudiced and stereotyping me. Well, African American women are also known for having attitudes or due to this culture. My mother always told me to be a strong black woman. So I always try to keep that in mind. But it can be a communication barrier when it comes to thinking that people are being prejudiced or stereotyping you. Okay, another communication barrier could be that I chose for me that I have a problem with is there are inhabits me to having a good conversation, and that would be interrupting. I tend to interrupt conversations, and when you interrupt conversation, people consider you as being rude. I'll tell you another way of what could be considered as being rude, and that is changing the topic. When you change the topic when people are having a conversation, that's also considered interrupting and being rude. So, let's speak a little bit more about communication barriers. Of course, my communication barriers. There's several communication barriers, but I'm speaking only about mine. And that's nonverbal. A lot of people tell me that my nonverbal communication skills are very stronger than my verbal communication skills. And that's facial expressions. That's what nonverbal stands for. So, and sometimes they say nonverbal communication skills is a lot stronger than verbal. So, I try to keep an eye on that. I try to pay more attention to that. Listen a while. Listening to the other person calms enough to listen. I think my problem is when someone's upset, then I need to listen. And I don't need to really speak until they calm down. You can't really be angry and expect really good results from the conversation. Using the connecting and disconnecting technique when communicating. Like I said earlier, that's very important when with interpersonal communication skills. Alright, so we want to talk about resources and strategies. So what are my resources? What are my strategies? I'm sorry about that. The most helpful resources I used was learning the different techniques on how to improve my listening skills. Learn how to communicate and learning how to communicate and connect with others. And always practicing these techniques in order for me to get a better relationship with others and improving my communication. My action plan, I need to stop interrupting conversation, improving my listening skills, and focus on improving my nonverbal communication skills. All this is still in works, but I have improved since I've been taking this class. In conclusion, it has been a pleasure taking this class on how to be more effective as a listener and how to communicate in ways on how to better my relationship with others. Having good listening and communication skills are important in human counseling. And with that being my field, I need to continue to practice these techniques and improve myself. Thank you, and have a nice day.